bless ma'am, we are the group 9 and I am Ringel Eileen. Our topic is approaches in teaching English language. We have here the 10 flexible language teaching approaches. The first one is grammar translation approach. Grammar translation approach is an approach that helps students to learn grammatical rules and then apply those rules by translating sentences between the target language and the native language. This is the classic way of teaching language. It began as a method to teach Latin and Greek and was generalized to teach any second language. The grammar translation approach uses the student's native language to teach the target language. Grammar and vocabulary are memorized route. Plenty of written examples and drills are given where grammar rules are elegantly observed. For example, the dog is black. The approach has strong structural underpinnings and emphasis is on the correct use of grammar, regardless of the substance or context. The grammar translation approach is best when the goal is for students to read or write the target language as well as appreciate its literature. The second one is direct approach. The direct method focuses on full immersion in the classroom environment where not one word of the student's native language is spoken. The focus is not on grammar, but instead on learning through listening and speaking. Direct approach is a teaching method that consists of a teacher-driven approach where teachers present the information to the student. For example, presenting a video or film to students, written or video lectures, demonstration, videos, and etc. The third one is reading approach. In reading approach, students will improve their knowledge and get something new because they are demanded to read more. Reading becomes important because it is an active skill which involves inferencing, guessing, predicting, etc. A student like this requires only one linguistic: reading comprehension. Vocabulary words are learned in context. In the reading approach, learning a language is employed as a means to a higher end. This approach has both structural and functional underpinnings. For example, the students read a short text and put events from it into chronological order. And the next is to be continued by Mr. Zamora.
Audiolingual approach. The audiolingual method focuses on oral skills. It aims to improve students' speaking achievement. Language items are presented to students in spoken form without reference to the mother tongue so that they can learn language skills effectively. Communicative approach is based on the idea that learning language successfully comes to having to communicate a real meaning. When learners are involved in real communication, their natural strategies for language acquisition will be used, and this will allow them to learn to use the language. The silent way is the name of a method of language teaching devised by Caleb Gattigno. It is based on the premise that the teacher should be silent as much as possible in the classroom, but the learner should be encouraged to produce as much as language as possible.
Community language learning. Community language learning is a language teaching method which involves psychological aspect and students work together to develop that skill they would like to learn. This method, firstly developed by Charles A. Curran and his association, which is called counseling learning theory. And one of the example of community language learning is group work. Group work is they are practicing question formed by asking learners to find out personal information about their colleagues. And sa group work is kinahanglan jud ang tinabangay sa grupo para ma-serve pud nato ang ato ang own idea and para mas madali itong mahuman. Functional national approach. The term functional national approach embraces any strategies of language teaching that derives the content of learning from an initial analysis of the learner's need to express. And three different kind of meaning of functional. Number one is the social purpose of the utterance. And social purpose of the utterance is we are used to having question being and used to ask for information, declarative sentences to state something, and imperative sentences to give orders. And the second is modal, the degree of likelihood. When modal verbs are used to indicate likelihood, they indicate the speaker's personal opinion about the truth or likelihood of what they are saying. And number three is conceptual, the meaning, relation expressed by forms within the sentences, categories of communicative function.
The next one is the natural approach. The natural approach belongs to a tradition of language teaching methods based on observation and interpretation of how learners acquire both first and second languages in non-formal settings. Such methods reject the formal grammatical organization of language as a prerequisite to teaching. The approach focuses on input comprehension and meaningful communication and puts less emphasis on grammar, teacher monologues, direct repetition, and accuracy. For example, the use of gestures or actions, such as in total physical response, is seen to be more binding than the use of translation. According to Terrell, students' speech will only emerge after enough language has been bound through the communicative input. Last one is the total physical response. Total physical response is an approach to language teaching where gestures, actions, and movements play a vital role in language acquisition. Methods of teaching language are vocabulary concepts by using physical movements to react to verbal input. The process mimics first language and it reduces student inhibitions and lowers stress. A great example of group singing with total physical response is a grade school class. Head, shoulder, knees, and toes. This song is not only fun to sing but incorporates movement that students can remember even if they can't quite get all the words.